Hello students, hope you all are doing well at your homes. In today's video we will start with the another portion of the unit 4, that is the plant growth regulators. In the previous portion, which was the physiology of the flowering, we have discussed about the photoperiodism as well as the vernalization. Simply talking, we have discussed about the role of the light in the flowering in the photoperiodism as well as the role of the temperature, particularly the low temperature into the flowering in higher plants or the angiosperm plants. In next portion, which is the plant growth regulators, which we will discuss about some chemical substances that can regulate the growth of the plant in both the positive as well as in the negative way. In all the living organisms, there are certain chemical substances which regulate their growth. Those are called the growth regulators or the hormones. Particularly we were talking about the plants, so we will call them the plant hormones or the plant growth regulators. So these growth regulators or these hormones are the chemical substances which, even present in the very low concentration, can show their effect. Even if their concentration is much lower or very lower, they can show their effect. This is the quality of the growth regulators or the plant hormones. H. Fitting was the first scientist to describe the term plant hormones. He gave the term hormones to those chemicals which regulate the growth of the plant. So there is a 5 plant hormones which are most important from the exam point of view as well as from the plant's point of view in their growth. These 5 plant hormones regulate the growth of the plant in both positive as well as in the negative way. The plant hormone auxin, gibberellin and the cytokinin, these are the positive growth hormones. Auxin is the most important among the all for the plants. The hormone abscisic acid and ethylene cause the negative growth. The hormone abscisic acid is also called the stress hormone because it is produced in the stress condition during the plants. This we have discussed earlier in the unit 1 also, in the topic closing of the stomata. The closing of stomata was regulated by the abscisic acid. So these are the 5 hormones: auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, abscisic acid and ethylene, which are most important to the plants. Along with these hormones, some other hormones are also present like jasmonic acid, salicylic acid, phosphon D. The phosphon D is a synthetic hormone that we can also prepare in the laboratories. So among them, the most important is the auxin. So we will firstly start with the auxin hormone. Auxin was the first plant hormone to be discovered in the plants. It was discovered in 1928 by Wendt. Wendt was a scientist who discovered the auxin hormone. The discovery of auxin is just began in the 1860. There was a scientist, Julius Sachs, which suggested that there is some organ forming substances that exist in the plants. So he firstly gave the idea of the auxin in 1860. He said that there are some chemicals present in the plant which control the growth of the plants. He did not name that chemical that to be auxin or even the nature, the chemical nature of that hormone, but he suggested that there is some chemical which regulate the positive growth of the plants. So it was the stone found by the Julius Sachs. After 20 years, in 1880, there was another scientist, the most famous one in the biology, that is the Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin also suggested that there is some chemical in the plants at the tip portion, at the meristematic regions like shoot apical meristem. At the tip of the shoots, there is some chemical which cause the more growth towards the shaded region or cause the bending of the plant towards the sunlight. He suggested that this phenomena, that the bending towards the sunlight, is caused by some chemical that is being present at the tip of the plant. So that chemical was the same which we are discussing, that is the auxin hormone, but that was not yet discovered in the 1880. What he discovered, that he take the canary grass, or he noticed the canary grass, that grass bent towards the sunlight due to the presence of a chemical at the tip portion. So what happened is the auxin move away from the light. So away from the light in that region, in the shaded region, auxin will move here. So if auxin is more present here as compared to this portion where the sunlight is available, so auxin, we all know that it causes the cell enlargement as well as the growth this side. So if there will be more growth at this side will become the heavy due to the cell enlargement as well as the cell division. So if this side will become heavy upon this side, upon the side which is located near the sunlight, so it will cause the bending of the canary grass or the tip of the canary grass towards the sunlight, because that shaded side now become heavy. So heavy thing just fall upon the light thing, so this will fall upon the sunlight side and it will cause the bending of the sunlight. So it was also noted by the Charles Darwin in the 1880. The oxygen was also noticed by the Boysen-Jensen in 1910. It was similar like the Darwin's experiment. He also suggested that there is some chemical present at the tip region which also cause the bending, or which cause bending towards the sunlight, and this chemical can also diffuse from one portion of the plant to the another portion of the plant. Firstly, the oxygen was distributed uniformly at the tip portion, but as the sunlight appears, as I told you earlier, the oxygen move away from the sunlight towards the shaded region, so it is permeable in the plant tissues. It will move from the sunlight region to the dark region, where it will become higher in concentration and it will divide to make this area heavy upon the sunlight area. So it will move from the light region to the dark region. So Boysen-Jensen also suggested that it is a permeable compound which can move by the phloem. Next, in the 1919, a scientist that is Paul suggested that the oxygen can even work in the very low concentration that I have discussed in the starting of this video. Even in the very low concentration, the oxygen can work and can cause the bending of the tip of a plant towards the sunlight. So how he shows that he take a plant, he cut the tip of the stem from this region, he remove the tip from the cutted stem, and then he just placed this tip at the very edge of the west side of that plant, or this region. This was the stem, this was the tip removed. He did not place tip as it is being cutted from this plant. He just placed a corner of the tip at this corner of the stem, like this. So at particularly this region, so from even this area of contact, or this area of zone of contact between the tip and the main stem, the oxygen diffuses into the cutted stem, where it causes the cell enlargement towards the dark side, and the dark side become heavy, and since the dark side become heavy, it will bend towards the sunlight. If you place the complete tip, then only the oxygen can be transported in a uniform manner. But even if we place a little amount of the contact between the stem and the tip, then only it can be diffused into the plant. So the Paul suggested that even in the low concentration, the oxygen can work. So finally, in the 1928, another scientist, which was the Wendt, discovered the plant hormone oxygen by their experiment, which is the Avena curvature test. Avena is a plant, we generally call it as oat plant. So he discovered the oxygen hormone into the oat plants, same like the Darwin's experiment, which was the bending of the oxygen tip, or the coleoptile tip, towards the sunlight. It is also called the bioassay of the oxygen. For the detection of oxygen, the Wendt's Avena curvature coleoptile test was performed, which quantify the oxygen in the tip of the Avena sativa, or the oat plant. So Wendt was the discoverer of the hormone oxygen. The word oxygen was coined by Kogel in 1931, which is derived from a Greek word, that is the oxygen, which means the to grow. So it is a growth hormone. It is a main growth hormone into the higher plants. So let's just now discuss about the chemical nature of the oxygen. So chemically, oxygen is synthesized from an amino acid. The amino acid tryptophan is the precursor molecule for the oxygen hormone. It is generally asked in the MCQ questions in the MSc entrance as well as the GATE and NET exam, that which molecule or which amino acid is the precursor molecule for the oxygen. So it will be the tryptophan. Tryptophan is amino acid which synthesize the oxygen hormone through various pathways, like the tryptophan dependent pathway as well as the tryptophan independent pathway that you will study in the higher classes in the masters also. The most abundant form of the oxygen in the higher plants is the indole 3-acetic acid. Generally we write it as a IAA, indole acetic acid. There is another form which is also natural in the higher plant, that is the indole 3-butyric acid, which we write the IBA. The indole acetic acid is being found at the very tip regions like the apical meristem regions of the stem as well as the roots, whereas the indole butyric acid is abundant in the leaves as well as the seeds of the maize plant. The other natural form includes the 4-chloroindole 3-acetic acid, that is the 4-Cl IAA. It is found in the legume seeds There may be phenyl acetic acid, the PAA form. It is also a natural form that is being found in the plants. So it is right as the PAA. Along with these naturally occurring aromatic acids or the naturally occurring amino oxygen hormones, some other forms are also exist which are synthetic, like the naphthalene acetic acid, the NAA form, and the 2,4-D, the 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. So these are the natural hormones. So the IAA, IB, and the PAA are the natural forms, whereas the 2,4-D and the NAA are the synthetic forms of the oxygens. Here is the structure of the indole acetic acid, and it is the structure of the NAA, the naphthalene acetic acid. It is a synthetic oxygen, whereas this is the natural oxygen. So in our next video, we will discuss about the most important concept in the oxygen hormone, that is the role of the oxygen hormone into the higher plants. Oxygen helps in the positive growth, in the cell enlargement, as well as in cell division, along with when it is present with the cytokinin hormone. Oxygen is the only hormone that is being found in the humans also. In the human urine, there is little amount of the oxygen also present in humans. So that's all for today. Have a nice day.